But last night already I could see something called the Great Conjunction, which sounds a bit like an eye disorder, but the Great Conjunction is Jupiter and Saturn lining up near or even on top of each other. And this is a very rare occurrence. Some people think it's what caused the Christmas star phenomenon. The last one of these was on May 5th in the year 1166, which nobody let me know about, so I missed it, obviously. But the Great Conjunction is something to see. I saw it last night. Like I said, it's amazing. And it's cloudy here today, but later tonight you might want to go out and see if you can find this thing. And we had a great conjunction here, evidently, when I turn my Christmas sweater lights on. There's a great conjunction, audio conjunction, called interference. Kelly texts me right away. Audio interference, big time audio interference with the sweater. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining the program tonight on December 20th. Here we are. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all you who tuned in last week for the Roaches, the week before that for the holiday sing-along. And so I was gonna shut down for the holidays. I was. Take a little break. But the brilliant Kelly Lynn Knott, my digital coordinator, came up with some fun ideas about how we might spend these December off Sundays and the first Sunday of January before programming resumes on January 10th. And so one of her ideas was to invite back a few guests. So I'll get to that in just a moment. Tonight we will revisit a show from May 3rd that I got to make with a wonderful guest artist. If you would like to support tonight's show financially, she and I will be sharing contributions to Venmo and PayPal via my accounts, which are listed here. There it is. Thanks, Cal. And thank you very much. And my guest tonight, before we get there, tonight is going to be an extravaganza, 3-show extravaganza. First is the show with my wonderful guest artist. The second show is expanded duets. So we're going to roll one show right into the next show. So 7 p.m. Eastern. And then 8 p.m. Eastern is another show of duets, all the duets we did through the entire year of 2020, including ones we just did with the Roaches and Vance Gilbert, who is my guest next week. And then the last show tonight will be Wine and Cheese Night. And this was so much fun. We're going to do this again. Wine and Cheese 2 is going to happen in 2021. You can count on it. But my guest tonight, who I'm happy to welcome now, is the wonderful singer-songwriter and thought leader. I love that term, thought leader. Please welcome to the program the one and only Dar Williams.
Hello.
Hi, dear.
Leader. My goodness.
That's a lot of pressure to be a thought leader. I mean, you have to think ahead of other people.
Yeah, but it's kind of lazy because you just kind of think something and then let everybody else deal with it. So that's,
Right. You're just the visionary, right? And then don't you get hired by a think tank? Isn't that like the ideal job that you would get?
Well, I wrote this book that had to do with how I saw community planning going from like the community standpoint, from the community capital, as opposed to like outside coming in, because that seemed to be really cool when I was on the road. So I would see these towns, and you saw this too, I'm sure.
It's a great book, but it's a great book you wrote. I love this book. And what's it called? What I Learned?
What I Found in 1,000 Towns.
Yeah.
Little inner alliteration or whatever that's called. But anyway, so, but you've seen this, like, because you're a friendly face, because what happens is people go, all right, we have this opera house. We've got it like almost all the way up. The sound guy has a, substance abuse problem, and there's no heating. But we're pretty set here, and so let's just get a friendly person in who won't complain. and who will be who can roll with this. Let's get Susan Warner. She's so nice. Let's get Dar. She looks so friendly. She looks like a kid who just woke up from a nap.
I think there are some gigs like this. Yes, there are. That's right.
So they bring us in and they're like, look, somebody don't touch that because you'll get electrocuted. But we're really looking forward to tonight. And by the way, there aren't really any people coming, but we're so excited because our town is like honest. This is the way that we are putting ourselves out into the world, and we're talking to each other.
Right.
Next thing they got the things worked out. The sound systems worked out. That they're publicizing, and they don't just use like a dot matrix ticketing system. They got real tickets, and then they go. And they've got community gardens, and they've got restaurants, and they've got cafes, and they've got people talking to each other. And suddenly the schools are better, the library's better. And then everyone's complaining about gentrification, which doesn't have to happen. But, but basically it's going from like a shadow economy and people skulking around to like, talking to each other. And so that was my thought. And I was hired by some really lovely like planning groups, regional planning groups, and I did some town talks where we would talk. I would sing and go, sing and dance, and then town leaders would come up, government, but usually non-government, and talk about like their tiny house movement or their makerspace, where they were like helping people build their own houses in the maker. Like it was the most awesome thing. So yes, I had a little thought, and then people surrounded their thoughts with it. So,
but also you did the tofu toll booth, right? Am I right?
Yeah. That was like 1992. I was like, okay, look.
But that was an idea, right? And the idea was to collect all these places on the road that you could find healthy vegetarian food.
And
right across the country.
Really,
yeah,
it's really mostly about coffee, but
right.
It was great. You know what? It's really funny because Charlie Hunter,
yes,
my
of course,
old manager,
who
I just adore. He met Charlie Hunter, the jazz guy, and they totally hit it off. They've always known about each other. And Charlie Hunter, the jazz guy, said, "We know about Dar Williams, who used to manage because she wrote the tofu toll booth." And so, I was like the queen of the dead heads, the queen of the dead heads.
Right.
So because I wrote this thing about how to get to find natural food stores, it just seemed like such a shame not to be able to find that cool neighborhood,
But you were a thought leader. Like my thought leading that I do is there's a really good Wawa at the corner of, on that Lancaster Avenue, and that's right by the train station in Ardmore. That's the only leading I do, is how to find the nearest Wawa.
Well, in that case, I was a thought compiler, to be honest. I was a thought pointer. I was a thought sign.
But do you ever, now that you've been a thought leader on at least two thoughts, you can be done, right? You can retire on that right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't have to think again. Well, I have submitted a draft for a book, where I write about sort of how I write songs, which is and actually what I think is that this is about the songwriter. This is a song for songwriters. Like a lot of songwriting books, I think, are a lot about how to write a good song, and I'm trying to look at kind of what it is to be a songwriter, what that rollout feels like. So I guess that's my latest thought, but we'll see if it gets printed.
But did you write it already?
I wrote a draft.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I submitted a draft.
But that'll be another good thought that you're having. So that's 3.
Right. I mean, that thought is, what, you really got to roll with yourself. Like you got to accept your process. Because I lead a songwriting retreat, and that's what you saw, amazing songs, but very much on people's own terms. There's no such thing as the song. The song. It's songs touch us. If I have a podiatry issue and somebody writes a beautiful song about podiatry, then that song will be spiritually important to me. So that's
And I just want to mention that someone out there is already thinking, podiatry song. Some of what's going to happen.
You could write a great one. By the way. You're amazing. Oh, Susan, by the way, you think a lot of great thoughts.
Metatarsal, metatarsal.
What rhymes with metatarsal?
Send me a UPS parcel. I'm here. So this conversation, just to let folks know what's going to happen tonight. If you have thoughts about the podiatry song, or you know of one, here's what's going to happen tonight. So Dar and I are chatting now, and then we're going to head over to my Facebook page, and maybe Dar's Facebook page. Let me see if that's the case. And we're going to continue to comment and watch this show that we did on May 3rd, when neither one of us had any idea how to do a live stream. And this was show number 8 of Susie on Sundays, for those of you who have been tuning in. And this was only my Facebook page, says Kelly. Okay, yeah, Susan Werner page is how you find this. And Dar's going to stay with us for the comments, and we're going to revisit this performance with knowledge now of how we probably could have done this better. But we did it. We went for it. And thanks to all of you who tuned in. And we're going to, have to watch in terror and horror, Dar, as our performance goes by, and we cannot do anything to stop it.
No. You invited me, and I said yes, and we're off.
You bought the ticket. Now you're going to go for the ride.
And I'm going to be drinking water during this. It's not alcohol. It's just. I mean, I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you too, and I hope you are going to have happy holidays. Are you going to stay home for the holidays? One assumes. Where are we going?
I'm going to travel. No, of course I'm staying home.
Yeah.
No, I'm traveling.
Do you have snow there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do you?
I am in Florida.
Oh, that's right.
I'm in Florida right now.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy? And you know how you do it? Can I just give you a hint? I'm watching to make sure I know when Kelly's like, okay, you got to wrap this chat up because we're about to go over. Is this it, Kel? Are we supposed to move? Kelly's like, here's the link to go to.
Yeah, I just got it. My text just lit up. That's
okay. We'll tell you more about all of that over in the comments on Susan Werner page now on Facebook. And please join Dar and I over there. Dar, thanks for joining the program. And folks, let us know about the podiatry song or anything else, any other questions you have. We will be happy to answer tonight. Thanks, Dar. I'll see you over there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, Kel. Hi, everybody. The moon rose above the river. Stars sparkled through the sweet gum tree. I steeled my spine, stomach, and liver for the evening ahead of me. Had to start it off with turtle soup and gin martinis at Commander's Palace. The night I ate New Orleans. The night I ate New Orleans. Sing it. The night I ate New Orleans. New Orleans stole my heart. First stop, Muffaletta. Central Grocery, it was worth the wait. Next stop, Jambalaya. I went to Coop's place and I cleaned my plate. Oysters, Rockefeller at Antoine's. And then to Brennan's for bananas, Foster. The night I ate New Orleans. Sing it. The night I ate New Orleans. The night I ate New Orleans. New Orleans stole my heart. Stole my heart and gave me heartburn. Heartburn all the whole next day. Oh, but now I feel my heart yearn for some fresh beignet and crawfish étouffée at Felix's. Night New Orleans. Tonight's a night. It's a good night for eating and drinking and maybe enjoying yourself a little bit amidst these difficult times. Hey, everybody, I'm Susan Werner. Welcome to the 8th Susie on Sundays, Sunday night live broadcast. And tonight's show, I hope finds you well and finds yours well. And thanks for tuning in. Tonight's promotional partner is City Winery, and want to thank our friends Michael Dorf and Shlomo Lippitz for their wonderful gift of 3 bottles of wine, and a reminder that you can order wine at City Winery and just click on shop. And I'm enjoying a wonderful Pinot Noir tonight. Thanks again to the folks at City Winery. And here's to all of you. And tonight, oh my God, so happy to welcome my friend and fellow traveler on this folk journey of ours. Please welcome to the program the wonderful Dar Williams. How are you, dear?
That sounded great.
Oh, thanks. It's great to see you.
It's good to be here. It's nice to be here with everybody else, too. So, what's up? What do you want me to do? This is your salon.
You know, I know that you do some interpretive dance, but
all right.
But one idea is to play a song that you wrote.
All right. Yeah. Given the choice. All right. This was, people knew about this concert and they requested this song, a lot of them. So it's a little, it's like a really warm, sunny day with a lot of daffodils today. But, let's do a winter holiday song. Here we go. And hopefully people can sing along. Here we go. Amber called her uncle, said we're up here for the holiday. Jane and I were having solstice, now we need a place to stay. And her Christ-loving uncle watched his wife hang Mary on a tree. He watched his son and candy canes all made with red dye number 3. He told his niece it's Christmas Eve, I know our life is not your style. She said Christmas is like solstice and we miss you and it's been a while. So the Christians and the pagans sat together at the table, finding faith and common ground the best they were able. And just before the meal was served, hands were held and prayers were said, sending hope for peace on earth to all their gods and goddesses. The food was great, the tree plugged in, the meal had gone without a hitch, till Timmy turned to Amber and said, is it true that you're a witch? His mom jumped up and said the pies are burning, and she hit the kitchen, and it was Jane who spoke. She said it's true, your cousin's not a Christian, but we love trees, we love the snow, the friends we have, the world we share, and you find magic from your God, and we find magic everywhere. So the Christians and the pagans sat together at the table, finding faith and common ground the best they were able. And where does magic come from? I think magic's in the learning, 'cause now when Christians sit with pagans, only pumpkin pies are burning. When Amber tried to do the dishes, her aunt said, really, no, don't bother. Amber's uncle saw how Amber looked like Tim and like her father. He thought about his brother, how they hadn't spoken in a year. He thought he'd call him up and say it's Christmas and your daughter's here. He thought of father, sons, and brothers, saw his own son tuck his sleeve, saying, can I be a pagan? Dad said, we'll discuss it when they leave. So the Christians and the pagans sat together at the table, finding faith and common ground the best that they were able, lighting trees in darkness, learning new ways from the old, and making sense of history and drawing warmth out of the cold. Thanks, Susan.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
I'm going to turn on the live comments so I can see them. Because,
Okay.
oh my God.
I know. It's so fun. So you haven't done this before, right?
No, hi, everyone. All right.
Great.
This is great. Thanks.
Can you hear me okay, Dar?
You sound beautiful. Yes. And yes.
Is this guitar coming at you too? Guitar good?
It's coming at me.
Would you like a few minutes to yourself while I play a song?
Yeah, I'll read my book.
Okay. Here's a song that's been requested quite a bit, and I haven't played it yet in any of these Susie on Sunday shows. And this is for me and Dar, who have survived a few things over the years. Being single, being married, da, 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 all the dating years. Here we go. Misery. Misery sings at the Hilton, steps into the purple spotlight, leans to the microphone. Misery sways his hips and smooths his hair back, winks at you and gets you thinking he's handsome from a certain angle. Happiness slips in and takes a seat at a table in the corner and watches you with real concern for you. Happiness walks up and taps your shoulder and says, call me when you want to come back home. Misery woos you when the show's over, buys you drinks and keeps you laughing while he's looking down your shirt. Misery says, I believe in destiny, says, destiny brought us together, says, who's that asshole in the corner? Happiness doodles on a cocktail napkin and waits for you to figure out that you should really lose this loser. Happiness smiles a sympathetic smile that says, call me when you want to come back home. Misery says, oh, I know life can be too hard to bear sometimes, baby, yeah, baby, yeah. Misery says, so why don't we go get a room upstairs? 'Cause I never disappoint. Misery says, hey baby, where you going? Thought we had an understanding. You shouldn't really lead me on like that. Misery says, well, lady, I know your type. You'll settle down with someone boring, and then you will come looking for me. And happiness says misery, leave her alone. 'Cause I know you get your share of girls, but I prefer a full-grown woman. Happiness says, honey, you know the number. Call me when you wanna come back home. Call me when you wanna come back home to me. Call me when you're ready to come back home. Wishing you much happiness and no misery, my friend.
I remember you and I were in Guelph, and we took a little walk in Guelph.
The sound that a quarter makes when you drop it in the toilet.
Beautiful town. And but we were walking by some sort of reedy place off on the side of a lake, and I told you about some guy, and you're like, "Oh, how's that going?" I'm like, "Well, it really hasn't happened yet." You're like, "It's not gonna happen." You were so horrified, and that was very instructive. So nothing happened.
Right.
Yeah. You're like, him.
Yeah.
He's a person.
Yeah, that's going to work out great.
No, your facial expression. Also, lovely friend Rita Houston, I also talked to around that time, and she said, I thought you knew better than that.
Wow, she just put it like that, huh?
Yeah, you were much more tactful. You're like, time for a round robin. Oh, we got to go. Yeah. Really don't know what to say to her. So that's gorgeous. I love that song. Beautiful job.
Thanks.
Lady. Okay, so now I don't feel like this is just non sequiturville because I had already thought of things. So I thought I would do this one because it's like a hello to people who are trying to figure out, what this time is. And I'm a freelancer, so I always have to kind of end each day saying, like, did I do what I was supposed to do? Like, what was I supposed to do? It's like having this big block of clay, It's like there's the thing that I made out of clay today. So, so actually, what I tell the people now is, you're not going to feel like you're doing something, but you'll just do a little something, and it will accumulate, and then you'll be, you'll look back and say, I totally aced this.
That sounds right. Yeah.
So this is about the sort of the forward backward time thing. This is called Emerald. I have come to the west, the Emerald Kingdom Highway. It's like a hero's path I'm following. I don't know what to think, what to do with myself today. Shouldn't I hear the future calling me? Under a low cloud, vanishing up through the tree line of the mountain, catching the light from the morning on a river come to life, the Grand Columbia. I've returned this time to these Cascades in autumn, and for once I am unquestioning. I can see the boatmen shout over the wind and engines as the gold coins shower from aspen trees. And into the twilight, a hazy moon on the amethystine river, watching the heron lifting up, and her wings spread wide as the Columbia. Unbeknownst to my pride, I had filled my memories with these hours of gold and emerald light. I can plunge my hands into all this time I've lived, and the jewels spill through my fingers. I have come to the west, to this canyon highway, and I can see a girl is passing. She is going so fast I can hardly tell it's me. Doesn't she know that she'll be traveling under a low cloud out of the north northwest into the Rocky Mountains, across the prairies to the Appalachian rises. Now the Pennsylvania farms into the traffic of the eastern cities, into my town, onto my street, up the hill into my house, grab the kids and out the back into the garden.
Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Dar Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Emerald Kingdom? Emerald?
It's just called Emerald, but I was trying to come up with a name for what I consider the Northwest to be, and
They call it that, don't they? Or
do they call it? Well, I think they call it Seattle the Emerald City for the Wizard of Oz. Maybe. But I do want to say, part of the inspiration for that song is that my friend Ann Weiss, who's watching now with Ajuna, her daughter, brought me to this beautiful canyon called Eagle Creek, like the luggage company, and it was astounding. Like it's an astounding country that we get to see, Susan, right? Like I've never seen a manatee, but like those we have those.
I've seen them.
Whoa! I've seen cacti, the ones that look like that, and I've had lobster in Maine. I've had crab in Seattle. So, it's that beautiful stretch of I-84 in Oregon, hello
It's
all,
lovely.
and thank you, Ann, and love to you all.
And hi to everybody at Sisters out there. We've had some fun out there.
Oh, yeah, we had some fun.
Yeah, we have had some fun out there.
That was a lot of fun, the festival.
Well, I'll do a song now that may cue one of your own songs, though you should feel free to do what you want. But
No.
there's pent-up demand for this, I think.
Okay.
So I'm going to say goodbye to you for a second, and bye for now. This is a song that, yes, we'll do a home and home exchange, Dar and I, right now. And this is a song I wrote, and then you might know what she's up to. Hi, Amy Whipple. Hello out there. Hello. Okay, here we go. Oh, the Mississippi River flows south from Minnesota, and it winds and it turns on its way to the sea, and it traces the features of a man in profile with a very, very big nose and a little goatee. There's the face of a man written in the river, written in the river's face of a man. And it's the shape of the land of the state of Iowa, the greenest corner of God's green earth. And when I say green, I mean greener than Ireland. Yeah, so what, they got potatoes? We got everything else. Beans and corn and alfalfa, kohlrabi and asparagus, elderberries in the ditches, and a little bit of weed. And when I say green, no, I don't mean winter, 'cause an Iowa winter is why God made Phoenix. Think of all the early settlers who froze their European asses, thinking spring would soon be coming. They were in for a surprise. Sing it. There's the face of a man. There's the face of a man written in the river, written in the river. Is the face of a man, it's the shape of the land, and it's the shape of the land of the state of Iowa, the greenest corner of God's green earth. And did you ever hear the story about Neil Armstrong? He was standing in his spacesuit, looking back from the moon. He sees the Great Wall of China. He sees the Mississippi River. He says, listen to me, Houston. I can kind of see Dubuque. There's the face of a man written in the river, Written in the river, do it again. Written in the rivers, the face of it is the face of a man. It's the shape of the land, it's the shape of the land of the state of Iowa, the greenest corner of God's green earth. Sending that out to my parents in Delaware County. It's the county, one county over from Dubuque. And it's also the county with the highest bush light per capita consumption in the United States. These are my people, the people of Iowa.
Gosh, what am I going to do? Oh. So, a song about a man. Well, I have a lot of those. Face of a man. No, I'm just kidding. No. And
Different way.
let me tell you, I played on the 4th of July. I played in Des Moines, and I was on the Come and Go stage with Sarah Watkins, and
right.
it was a ton of fun. And just before, it was raining really hard, and there was this guy named Dan, the farmer man, and I was under an awning, escaping the rain, and he said that he had this CSA, this organic CSA in the middle of Iowa with all of these different crops, and he was naming all of them. But I think based on sort of just the manner of the way he was speaking with me, that also weed was a part of that crop profile.
Iowa soil,
that
excellent.
portfolio. Yeah, I think that it's quite fertile for that. So go pot, go hemp. And why don't I just do this song? You know, it's actually called
Up to you, but
it's called Go Tell It on the Mountain. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. I've never had a way with women, but the hills of Iowa make me wish that I could. And I've never found a way to say I love you, but if the chance came by, oh, I would. But way back where I come from, we never mean to bother. We don't like to make our passions other people's concern. And we walk in the world of safe people, and at night we walk into our houses and burn. How I long to fall just a little bit, to dance out of the lines and stray from the light. But I fear that to fall in love with you is to fall from a great and gruesome height. So you know, I asked a friend about it on a bad day. Her husband had just left her. She sat down on the chair he left behind. She said, what is love? Where did it get me? Whoever thought love is no friend of mine? Everybody. So helpful. Okay. You should put everything on it, you know. Cedar Rapids with the big, you know, Count Chocula Day when they're making the cereal, and Iowa City with its amazing writers and one of the best food co-ops. All right, just saying. Des Moines, Ames, Mason City. Oh my God. That's where the Music Man is based on that. It's where the Beachland Ballroom is. Frank Lloyd Wright made a hotel that I stayed in there. Thank you, everybody who had me stay there. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to sing my song now. Okay. Once I had everything, I gave it up for the shoulder of your driveway and the words I've never felt. And so for you, I came this far across tracks, 10 miles above the limit, and with no seatbelt, and I'd do it again. For tonight, I went running through the screen doors of discretion, for I woke up from a nightmare that I could not stand to see. You were wandering out on the hills of Iowa, and you were not thinking of me. This one more time. You can lift up your device and shine it, wave it in the air. As a big thanks to all of our farmers right now. We're struggling, figuring out the next step, and sing along, because maybe you're just with your family, so you can really howl on this one. I mean, like, let it go. See how that goes. All right, ready?
And those beyond the gender binary, Dar Williams, yes. Thank you for singing that song. Though I always wonder, like, where the hills of Iowa, that's got to be.
They totally exist. Okay. So get out your handy map. That's just brilliant. All right. So, okay, this is what happened to me. I was invited to go open for Ani DeFranco in Beloit, Wisconsin. And, okay, so you think that I'm driving east, right? Northeast. But actually, I was so excited that I drove west for a good 20 miles. And that's where I saw the hills. And this is the thing, there aren't trees on those hills. Okay. And so it's very, so you really see the curvaceousness of them. And also there's that beautiful silo that you'll see in the future. I mean, that's future. I started looking at your map like, no, Susan, that's not where, oh, maybe it is, maybe. But you look out into the distance and you see that silver silo, with the sun coming on it and the gray clouds behind it. And so you really get a sense of the expanse of this curvaceous landscape. So it's not like, Grand Tetons, as it were, but it's very suggestive. It's very biomorphic. And I just fell in love with it. Really, I've always...
Biomorphic kind of like a turn-on word?
Like for you, maybe. It's a biomorphic is like a art history 101 word. Yeah, and I did okay in art history, but generally it doesn't.
The hills being kind of, are they?
Oh, yeah. No, curvaceous, yeah, like boobs and hips. That's biomorphic. Okay, yes, you're right.
I'm with you on that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and well, you get set up. Vance Gilbert said hello. Hey,
hi, Vance. I heard that Cliff Eberhardt is also with us, joining us at the party. I know, right? What are you gonna do?
just go on.
And we want to thank your pal Rick Gedney.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so I run a songwriting retreat, and the people who run it with me have become some of my closest friends. And Rick and Michelle Gedney, who are in a group called Open Book, lent me their studio space and the lights and everything to let me do this. And so, yeah, big thank you to them.
Open Book is good. I heard what they did on Facebook. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, we covered one of their songs with Cry, Cry, Cry called Go, and it was a high point.
They're just lovely writers. And I'm going to make sure and give them a shout out. And there's so many people joining us tonight. I can't even keep up.
Oh, I
with
know.
it. But we can look. But we can look while we're doing our next duet.
Oh, right.
We're going to do a duet here, and I want to let our listeners know this is a new experiment. So you might want to turn your audio down for a second, and then bring it up slowly in about 5 seconds, as our digital coordinator Kelly.
Why is it that as we grow older and stronger, the road signs point us adrift and make us afraid, saying you never can win? Watch your back, where's your husband? Oh, I don't like the signs that the sign makers made. So I'm gonna steal out with my paint, my brushes. I'll change the directions, I'll hit every street. It's the Tinseltown scandal, the Robin Hood vandal. She goes out and steals the King's English, and in the morning you wake up and the signs point to you. They say, I'm so glad that you finally made it here. You thought nobody cared, but I did, I could tell. And this is your year, and it always starts here. And you're aging well. Well, I know a woman with a collection of sticks. She could fight back the hundreds of voices she heard. She could poke at the greed, she could fend off her need, and with anger she found she could pound every word. But one voice got through and cut her up by surprise. It said, don't hold us back, we're the story you tell. And no sooner than spoken, the spell had been broken, and the voices before her, trumpets and timpani, violins, basses and woodwinds and shallows, singing, we're so glad that you finally made it here. You thought nobody cared, but we did, we could tell. And now you'll dance through the days while the orchestra plays. And you're aging well. Now when I was 15, oh, I knew it was over. The road to enchantment was not mine to take, 'cause lower calf, upper arm should be half what they are. I was breaking the laws that the sign makers made, and all I could eat was the poisonous apple. And that's not a story, I was meant to survive, and I was all out of choices. But the woman of voices, she turned round the corner with music around her. She gave me the language that keeps me alive. She said, I'm so glad that you finally made it here. We're the things you know now that only time can tell. Looking back, seeing far, landing right where we are. And you're aging, and I'm aging, aren't we aging well?
Well,
Beautiful harmony.
that
Susan.
was just such a delight to do. I can't even tell you.
You're the best. We got to take this on the road, woman.
Let's take this show on the road the minute we can.
I know what. I'm sorry. I didn't even do. That was a tease.
No, but that song is just so like it's super profound to do it now. With a few miles on my tires.
I wrote it when I was 25, when I'd been dumped by a 27-year-old for a 21-year-old. I was like,
Are you serious?
Totally. Yeah. And somebody actually said, well, I really can't blame him. If I could go out with a younger woman, I would.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we didn't really talk much after that. But can I just tell you, I wrote down these names.
I did too.
But they went so fast. So Jen Teleshak, Carla Hutton, Joe Ray, Kara Enns, Trish Olson, Beth Kashani, Bill King, Amy Putnam, Barbara Coe.
Amy Putnam.
Who's amazing.
Jen Teleshak.
Chris Chen and Bob McWilliams.
Bob McWilliams, Radio Bob in Kansas.
Yeah, we've probably done a show together in Kansas. So that's what I caught. I thought I saw my lawyer, but then I saw she was from another state. So anyway.
Different lawyer.
I don't think my lawyer's a fan. But
she should be. He should be. Hi to Michael Melion in Gary, Indiana, I believe. And Mary Barbara McMillan, who tunes in often. And Judy Cangelosi, you get better soon, right? You take care of yourself.
Oh, yeah. Judy, yes. Glad that you're negative.
Yes, and you take care of yourself. So, I'll do a song here, and then you'll do a song, and then we might do like another 2 songs.
Lady, gets good.
All right. See you in a minute. I'm going to send you to the penalty. What is it called? The penalty box?
The penalty
Is that what it's called in hockey?
Yeah. That's where I said.
You're going in the penalty box.
That's my box.
Okay. Bye. Do a song here that I guess Bob Dylan said, "When in doubt, write a hymn." So this is a sort of hymn. Could be a her. Right? Could be a her. It's a him. May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you, this time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I'd suggest to you, why I'd suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. It's a secret world, like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A tender lover's smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. And I suggest to you, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you. It's the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. And this is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. And inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. This is a song with a request of you to see how very short these endless days will run. And when they're gone and when the dark descends, oh, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. And I suggest this is the best part of your life.
Man.
I played the first note wrong. I tried to call back the aging well. We're aging well, sister.
That's a beautiful. I'm honored if you consider that to be a companion song. So here's my question. I saw the names went by too fast this time. I couldn't. I saw Alan Roeth.
Alan Roeth.
Gordon Nash, but I'm sorry if I've missed anyone. So here's my question. There is a song that I had pre-recorded, but that you may play or not play of mine in a pre-recorded fashion that I could just play now.
Oh, I think maybe just play it now.
Okay, I'll do that because that was a request I caught it. This is called After All. Go ahead, push your luck, find out how much love the world can hold. Once upon a time I had control and reined my soul in tight. Well, the whole truth is like the story of a wave unfurled. But I held the evil of the world, so I stopped the tide, froze it up from inside, and it felt like a winter machine that you go through, and then you catch your breath and winter starts again, and everyone else is spring bound. And when I chose to live, there was no joy, it's just a line I crossed. That wasn't worth the pain my death would cost. So I was not lost or found. And if I was to sleep,
I knew my family had more truth to tell. And so I traveled down a whispering well to know myself through them. But growing up, my mom had a room full of books and hid away in there. Her father raging down a spiral stair till he found someone, most days his son. And sometimes I think my father too was their refugee. I know they tried to keep their pain from me. They could not see what it was for. But now I'm sleeping fine. Sometimes the truth is like a second chance. I am the daughter of a great romance, and they are the children of the war. Well, the sun rose with so many colors it nearly broke my heart. It worked me over like a work of art, and I was a part of all that. So go ahead, push your luck, say what it is you gotta say to me. We will push on into that mystery, and it'll push right back. And there are worse things than that, 'cause for every price and every penance that I could think of, it's better to have fallen in love than never to have fallen at all. 'Cause when you live in a world, it gets into who you thought you'd be. And now I laugh how the world changed me. I think life chose me after all.
Wow. The crowds are roaring.
That song is, I know you know. I heard you do it when we did that show at the City Winery last summer. You were so kind to add me to your bill.
Oh, it was a great show.
At the City Winery. And, City Winery. I have some lovely wines here from City Winery. And
Great.
Thank you, Michael Dorff, for sending. And I'll take a moment and shall we toast to everyone's health?
To everyone's health. I have the Cabernet. You have the Pinot Noir.
I do have the Pinot Noir. That's
Lots of love to the City Winery in all the cities.
right. And to the health of everyone listening.
To my burgundy teeth.
Yeah, it's hard to get that right. The wines and the blueberries. I had blueberries also today.
Yeah.
So as I was saying something about City Winery or something. Oh, that song. After all, so I heard that and I heard it half. I'd never heard that song before that night, and I heard it half, and I'm like, "What is something very profound is happening here?" And so I came home and I sat down and listened to it, and I just ugly cried. I have to believe about 3/4 of the people who have heard that song have just ugly cried. Like, And how do you? That takes a great deal of risk to write that song. Do you feel like you placed yourself at risk when writing that song, or did you just write a song and kind of see what happened with it?
Yes and no, because, other people had written about depression and stuff, and Salisbury Hill is Peter Gabriel coming out of the,
right.
a place, a hospital. And so I thought, this isn't that big deal. But I also thought this saved my life. Like, I just thought it was going to be obscure. Like, I just thought, well, I went through a process that really saved my life. And from, clinical depression. I remember getting the diagnosis and saying, I'm so relieved. You mean this isn't just life? This isn't just what it feels like? So it was this song of gratitude because I wouldn't be here at all if I hadn't gone through, all of that. And, I was pretty young. I caught it, 21. But but I have to tell you that I played this at Falcon Ridge, I think, for one of the first times. And Bob McWilliams, who's out there right now, was the person who said, I think this song is going to have more of a reach than you thought. And I was like, Bob, you are wrong, But it turned out that, it's kind of a wonderful big circle of people who've come to me with their own stories, about their climb back to the surface.
Mm-hmm. What a beautiful song and a real gift.
Oh, thanks,
you.
Susan.
Yeah, you should look into doing this for a living, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I got to pack up. I got to have a discussion with my boss, but maybe. Can I just tell you, we've been through so many cities together. I was thinking about it while we were listening to this, one of the songs. That we've been in Guelph, Sisters, New York City, King of Prussia, Alexandria. So, but do go on.
King of Prussia outside Philadelphia, where actually a man from King of Prussia flew to Germany and was met by a welcoming committee from the town because they thought maybe he was actually from Prussia.
Oh.
This really happened.
Yeah, like the king who hadn't gotten the memo that there's no king nor actually a Prussia.
Something, but the town, Munich or somebody sent out a welcome wagon.
That's really enabling.
And King of Prussia still believes that about itself. I'll sing a song here from a project, because I don't know how to follow that song, except to thank you for it. You're going back in the penalty box, I'm sorry. High sticking.
Off I go.
Back you go. This song from a project called An American in Havana. And if you go to Havana, this is one of the experiences you must have. You really got to do it. It's a cliche, but you got to do it. And we'll do this one, and then Dar will do another song, and then we'll wrap it up. So you brought along your girlfriend, your kind of pretty crazy girlfriend. What the hell were you thinking? She never stops drinking, she talks all the time. And now you're running out of money. Yeah, you've been running through the money. You don't know where it all went right now. You just spent your very last dime. But when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising the Malecon, oh, all your troubles are gone. Oh, when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising La 23, oh, world's a wonderful place. Yes, it is. And you're driving with the top down. You're in the sunshine with the top down. Yeah, you're rolling in a carriage that is the perfect marriage of vinyl and chrome. You got the white walls and the tail fins, the two-tone color and the tail fins. Salsa on the AM station. Why end this vacation? Why ever go home? 'Cause when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising the Malecon, all your troubles are gone. Oh, all your troubles are gone. When you're in 1955, when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising La 23. Oh, world's a wonderful place. As you roll past El Toro y La Zora y el Cuervo, La Zora y el Cuervo, you'll smile and let every last care go, floating away on the music in your ears. As you roll past La Meia Coiba, your girlfriend gets out and says, see ya. Yeah, she's over it, she's had enough. You don't care because now you're in love. Oh, with the Chevrolet, hey, 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 when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air, or when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising that Malecon, all your troubles are, oh, all your troubles are gone. Everybody east of the Mississippi, when you're in a 1955 1955 Chevy Bel Air, and you're cruising La Venti Trace. World's a wonderful place. Oh, world's a wonderful place. Everybody west of the Mississippi, when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air, and you're cruising the Malecon. All your troubles are gone. Oh, all your troubles. Everybody outside the 48 contiguous United States. I swear I could hear Richard Flohill up in Canada. On that last one, I could hear Richard Flohill.
Richard Flohill.
Richard Flohill is with us.
I was singing, and then
I'm
I
honored.
stopped. I stopped after you did the people after the east of the Mississippi. I was like, nope, that's not me.
No,
Can't
west.
sing.
That's right, west of Mississippi. Hey, Sharon
Oh,
Goldberg
sorry.
is here tonight. Did you
Oh,
know
hey,
that?
Sharon.
I know. She's great.
All right. Well, I was going to play that song.
Oh yeah, I know. Sorry.
All right. So now here's the question. But no, don't make me go away. I have a question for you. Should I do my big wrap up? No, another. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, we're going to do this.
Don't
one.
you think? I think we'll just
Yeah, no. We'll roll it out here. So this is. I think you're doing this one.
I love that one.
Thank you.
I don't know what it is, but
Nobody. This was requested by nobody, but the request kind of went by fast. So I'm just going to do this one that was requested by, I'm sure, nobody. This is called "The Mercy of the Fallen." I wrote it for a bunch of musicians that I love. They were a bit debauched, so this is not about Susan. But here we go. Oh, my fair North Star, I have held to you dearly. I had asked you to steer me to one cloud scattered night. I got lost, and in my travels I met Leo the lion, met a king and met a giant with their air and light. There's the wind and the rain and the mercy of the fallen, who say they have no claim to know what's right. There's the weak and the strong and the beds that have no answer, and that's where I may rest my head tonight. I saw all the bright people in imposing flocks. They landed and they got what they demanded, and they scratched at the ground. Then they flew, and the field grew as sweet before the fightless, who had longing, yet despite this they could hear every sound. There's the wind and the rain and the mercy of the fallen, who say they have no claim to know what's right. There's the weak and the strong and the best that have no answer, and that's where I may rest my head tonight. And if your sister or your brother were stumbling on their last mile in a self-inflicted exile, you'd wish for them a humble friend. And I hope someday that the best of Falstaff's planners give me 7 half-built manors, where half dreams may dream without end. There's the wind and the
place to know what's right. There's the weak and the strong and the many stars that guide us. We have some of them inside us.
La 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 da da da. Well, I'm getting heavy lobbying that we should do one more round. Do you have it in you?
I do indeed.
You do? Okay, let's do one more because I'm getting heavy pressure from the inside circle, the inner circle. Yeah.
Our inner circles are friends with each other.
I think, yeah, they could be, especially Kelly Lynn Knott, who's running the whole show out there in Hawaii, and Jane Paul, road manager to the Stars,
Who I've known as long as I've known you. And Patty Romanoff.
And Patty Romanoff also. So we got, I hate to say it, but I hate to break it to you, but we're going to have to do another round. So I'm going to send you back over there. And
Bye.
Bye for now. Bye for now. And all right, one more here. One more for the travelers out there. This is for all the... Because what are we if we are not travelers? Travelers is what we are. A song about traveling and sunshine. Sonoma County on a Sunday. Not a cloud in the California sky. Cement Buddha in the backyard, unperturbed by the ants crawling up his thigh. TJ sitting in a deck chair, smiles her easy smile from ear to ear. Maura standing in the doorway says you really ought to move out here. Petaluma afternoons when the light comes pouring in. The buttered sunshine on your skin is full of love and vitamins, and they always end too soon. These Petaluma afternoons, yeah, yeah, yeah. Put your book up on the table. Stretch yourself back underneath the sun. Close your eyes and let the daydreams dance across your forehead one by one. Troubles fade into the distance with the Grateful Dead still on the radio. And Maura reads the weather for you, says New York City got another 3 feet of snow. Petaluma afternoons when the light comes pouring in. The buttered sunshine on your skin is full of love and vitamins, and they always end too soon. These Petaluma afternoons, feel the healing golden rays. Feel them warm your frozen mid-Atlantic bones. Listen as the music plays and the serotonin flows in. You know, this song could be about depression, right? Serotonin, clouds, sunshine, vitamin D. Could be. Goodbye kisses round sundown. Gas and coffee by the Interstate 5. You're doing Vancouver in the morning. Safe to say you're gonna be a little late. But Portland's nothing but a downspout. Seattle is only sailboats in the rain. So drag your feet in California. God knows you've got nothing to explain. out to me. Petaluma, California afternoons, when the light comes pouring in, the buttered sunshine on your skin is full of love and vitamins, and they always end too soon. These Petaluma, California afternoons, Marin County, Sonoma County, and my Pinot Noir this evening from City Winery. And my Pinot Noir is from the Russian River area of Northern California. It is yummy. La 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 la. I swam in the Russian River on tour with Joan Armatrading years ago. The Russian River was Russian. I mean, not like, Moscow Russian, but it was Russian by. Petaluma Afternoons, number 4 on the Billboard charts in 1998.
I love Petaluma. I love Petaluma.
Also known as Egg City, Petaluma. Did you know that?
No. Yep. When I visited, I told them about this dream I had where there was like 1972 in my dream, and I'd come from the future, and they were doing all this stuff. Like they were like, there's this thing called the composting toilet, and it's so great. It's totally the future. I was like, it is not. And then they were all like jogging, and like, there's this new thing. It's called jogging. But they were jogging in these tennis shoes. And I was like, that, yeah, there is, and that will stick. But your spine will have some feedback about that. And then this one woman comes up to me, and she's like, my boyfriend and I, we're just, I think she's like, my lover and I, we are going to be here forever. We're going to be together forever because we're going to go up to Northern California and start a organic veggie farm. And I was like, you know what? You will be together forever, and you will start that farm, and you will live in Petaluma or around about there. Like so many groovy kind of quasi-spiritual agricultural things going on there. It's a, that's a dreamscape.
This was a dream you had?
Yeah.
Are you taking melatonin or eating Chinese food, or what's the deal?
I probably had Chinese,
MSG. And it isn't Madison Square Garden.
No, I'm a vivid dreamer. I mean, waking and asleep.
Oh my God, I would say.
Yeah, that's going to be my album, my next album. Vivid dreamer. People are like, I will not buy
I'll
that
buy
album.
it. No, I'll buy it.
Oh, you're sweet. All right, but what did we say about enabling?
I'll take melatonin and then I'll listen to your record.
Okay, so somebody requested this. I wasn't going to do this, but there were a couple of them, so. This is one of the first songs that I ever, put out into the public. And it's called When I Was a Boy. I won't forget when Peter Pan came to my house, took my hand, and said I was a boy. I'm glad he didn't check. I learned to fly, I learned to fight. I lived a whole life in one night. We saved each other's lives out on the pirate deck. And I remember that night when leaving a late night with some friends, and I hear somebody tell me it's not safe, someone should help me. I need to find a nice man to walk me home. When I was a boy, I scared the pants off of my mom, climbed what I could climb up on. And I don't know how I survived. I guess I knew the tricks that all boys knew. And you can walk me home, but I was a boy too. I was a kid that you would like, just a small boy on her bike,
riding topless. Yeah, I never cared who saw. My neighbor came outside to say, get your shirt. I said, no way, it's the last time. I am not breaking any law. And now I'm in this clothing store, and the signs say less is more. More that's tight means more to see. More for them, not more for me. That can't help me climb a tree in 10 seconds flat. When I was a boy, see that picture, that was me. Grass-stained shirt and dusty knees. And I know things that gotta change. They got pills to sell, they got implants to put in, they got implants to remove. But I am not forgetting that I was a boy too. And like the woods where I would creep, it's a secret I can't keep. Except when I'm tired, except when I'm being cut off guard. And I've had a lonesome, awful day. The conversation finds its way to catching fireflies out in the backyard. And so I tell the man I'm with about the other life I lived. And I say, now you're Top Gun, I have lost and you have won. And he says, oh no, no, can't you see? When I was a girl, my mom and I, we always talked, and I picked flowers everywhere that I walked. And I could always cry. Now even when I'm alone, I seldom do. And I have lost some kindness, but I was a girl too, and you're just like me, and I was just like you.
When I was a boy.
Oh, I
la,
know.
la, la.
You know what that melody is? I didn't know this till like a decade after I wrote this song. When I was a boy, everything was right.
What is that?
She said, I know what it's like to be dead. I know what it is to be sad.
What is this? What song is that?
The Beatles.
Oh, no.
With and without you, yeah. So that's the big secret. There's another, you want to hear another secret?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
let's just.
If you're telling, I'm listening.
I'm
Let me
just
get
gonna-
another glass of wine. Just keep
I'm
going.
gonna, yeah, well, clearly I already did that. So this is somebody at the end of the song Emerald, they said, I just love how you did, Back to the Garden, which is, of course, from Woodstock by Joni Mitchell. It's like,
I don't know, that's pushing it.
That was, well, no, he was kind of 100% right.
From that song? No, not from that song. A different song.
Right. So at the end of Emerald, I sing, then to the garden, ding, and that's actually the melody of Got to Get Back to the Garden.
Okay, but did you know that you get 7 notes without being sued?
Oh, I know. Oh, no, I tell the people, people all the time. That's my rule of thumb. Change 2 notes and it's all yours. I mean,
right.
within, phrase it out and then
That's exactly right. May I share an example? Okay, so Stephen Schwartz wrote the overture to Wicked, right? He wrote the show Wicked. So in the overture, he writes a melody that goes.
Way to not get yeah. No one got to nail you. Yep.
Smart.
There was there's a song I wrote called "Traveling Again," and the melody is based on, not consciously, but eventually, on the melody of "When You Can't Find a Friend, You Still Got the Radio" by Nancy Griffith. And so I got to, of course, like, can't help myself. I'm playing in a round robin with Nancy Griffith, so of course I'm like, okay, I'm just going to confess this to you. You could tell me to never play this song again. But she was totally cool about it.
Did you gush? You gushed.
Well, yeah, that was kind of,
I gushed at Nancy also.
Yeah, I gushed.
I have gushed.
Exactly.
At Nancy.
That was to be expected.
I want to mention a few, just thank Rick over there, Rick Gedney.
Rick Gedney.
Helped me with the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And we received some very nice comments from Alan Perry and some other people about sound tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
There's been good help. Kelly's been doing a great job. Kelly Lynn Knott out in Hawaii, who has her own shows. You may want to follow her and hear her beautiful singing. Kurt Fogel and Shank. There's just grateful for everybody joining us tonight. Thanks for tuning in. And before we do this final number, I'll be here every Sunday night. Next week is Mother's Day requests, and I'm doing a request by my mother to start the show. You better. You have to thank your sponsors. And she is the ultimate sponsor. And then
sponsors of our birth.
Right,
that's a good one. That's a really important sponsor.
Yeah, you got to thank the sponsors. And then I'm doing a couple shows, one wacky show on May 31st. It'll be Wine and Cheese Night, and it's going to be the cheesiest songs of your life.
Fantastic.
You may want to join for that, and just toss in like Styx, REO Speedwagon, Commodores. And now there you go, lady. Yeah. Is that right?
When I'm with you, I'm smiling, Susan.
Do it.
Lady, when I'm with you, I'm smiling. Oh no, we don't sync. Never mind.
Well, we're going to find out right now in our
crash.
final number, because we're going to do a little experiment. If you remember the third verse.
Okay, so wait a minute. I have to tune up if we're going to do this right in. I was going to take the time to...
So we'll do just a thanks to everybody again for tuning in while Dar's playing the
Thank me for
tuning
tuning
song.
up.
The tuning song. And thanks to Patty Romanoff. Thanks to City Winery for these lovely bottles of wine. And you can order City Winery wine by going to City Winery and clicking on shop. And wine is in demand for some reason. I don't know what's going on. And hope you've enjoyed this evening. If you've enjoyed this evening's show half as much as Dar and I, then we've enjoyed it twice as much as you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I was thinking, it's funny, like, first... I think, at first when people were in the quarantine, there was a lot of orders for, physics lectures and things like that. And now it's just more like wine. So, people are sort of anticipating the time would be and kind of, what it was.
We were all going to write Shakespeare, and then we...
Right. Or recite them. So, okay, but I will say this. Before this quarantine happened, I got a case of Flugscham. Flugscham is, trust the Europeans to have like the most stark language. It's flight shame of flying. So I thought, I want to reduce my footprint. I'm going to fly less. So I started taking the train. And people were really lovely. Charlie Hunter said, I can help you get like a sleepover berth. And I said, no, you know what? Let me just get a neck pillow. And so I did that. And I did Amtrak twice, 2 overnight Amtraks. And, I brought my food and I got my whatever, and which means wine. And anyway, I fell in love with looking out the window, going down from New York all the way down to Florida twice.
Whoa.
And once down to Atlanta, and just seeing the cities, as the sun was setting on them. And I hope that we have as Angela Merkel, our girl, Angela Merkel says, we want to come out of this greener than when we went in. We want it to be a green recovery. And so I'm a train girl.
Amen.
I think Amtrak is fantastic. So this was written by the president of Amtrak. No, I'm just kidding. It's written by Steve Goodman. And his buddy is Arlo Guthrie, and Arlo Guthrie's big buddy is Pete Seeger, and Pete Seeger would have been 101 today.
Whoa.
So let's sing really loud, because that's what Pete would want us to do. He wanted us to just like put it, all that pride, just put it all aside and really let it out and see what that feels like. So Susan's going to join me on this. It's going to be fantastic. And I love you, Susan. All right, here we go.
I love you, honey. I'll see you in a minute.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Kankakee, rolls along past houses, farms, and fields. The trains that have no names, and the rail yards full of old gray men, and the rail yards of the dusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm a native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done, dealing cards with the old man in the boxcar. Penny a point and no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. That was for you to sing. I knew the line. I totally knew the line. And the sons of the Pullman porters and the sons of the engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all that they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm a native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
Nighttime on the city of New Orleans. Changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling down to the sea. And all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rails still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings his song again. The passengers will please refrain. This train's got the disappearing railroad blues. Take us out, Dar.
Good night, America, how are you? I said, don't you know me? I'm a native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Everybody. Good morning, America, how are you? I said, don't you know me? I'm a native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
Good night, America, how are you? Give it up for Dar Williams. Da, 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 da. How was my piano? Was my piano locked with you, or was it wrong?
I couldn't hear. I could
really.
only hear myself.
Couldn't really hear.
I've got a narcissistic personality disorder. I'm sorry, I don't hear anybody but me.
In your
no, I'm
ears?
just kidding.
In your
I'm
ears?
sure that you were. I couldn't hear you in my cans.
Because I think I'm like 150 milliseconds ahead of you, so I was just guessing. I hope I didn't screw up the song. Thank you, Dar, for joining. It is so nice to see you. I look forward to seeing you again in person. Love to your family and good health to you, dear.
Love to you and yours. Out where you are in Chicago, correct?
In Philadelphia.
Oh,
Philadelphia at the moment.
Oh,
Philadelphia.
fantastic.
For another while.
All right, I'm here in New York in the Hudson Valley. So hello, everybody.
Da, 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 da. Thank you, Dar.
Good night.
La, 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 la. See you next Sunday. Thanks everybody for tuning in.